What's up everybody, Jameson Redding here with the Road Trip Angler. We are on the Georgia Traverse. I'm with the guys from Mainline Overland. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to update on some of the changes I've made since the last walkthrough I did of the truck. We're on a farm, we got chickens in the background. I've got the Addictive Desert Designs bumper on the front, which just looks great on this truck. It also gives me a lot of cutaway so that I've got a better approach angle for those tires. I've got a 50-inch Baja light bar in the front. I also have two Baja Squadron Pros, one on either side, that are in the amber color. They're a little bit brighter than a fog light, so not road legal, but for off-road it really lights up the ditches well. I got a 12,000-pound Warren winch in there as well, which luckily I haven't had to use that much. One of the main things that I've updated since the last video is the Nokian tires, the Outpost NATs. They've got probably around 20,000 miles on them now, and they've been holding up really nicely. Can't complain at all. The road noise is really not there at all. I mean, just real quiet tire on road, and everything I've thrown at them, they've got me out of those situations. I got the Icon wheels on there as well. They're 17-inch wheels. The tires themselves are basically around a 34.5 by 1250, but 315/70 R17 is the actual size. One of the new upgrades is I just got a set of Bilstein 6112s on the front, and I also changed out and put their upper control arm on because I wanted to get about an inch more lift out of it. So with the AT4, you already have that 2-inch factory lift, but it's pretty maxed out on what you can do with the existing control arm that comes on the truck. By switching that out, I was able to adjust that and go up to that around 1.2 inch, but with it settling, it's about an inch more lift in the front of the truck. One of the newest things I've put on the truck is the Boondocks Rain Cloud. It's a metal water tank, 10 gallon. You can pressurize it. It's got a Schrader valve in the side. It stores the hose inside this door right here, so really nice. You can lock it. You've got a little bit of storage, about the same amount on the other side if you'd like to carry an extra piece of hose with you. So you can do that, and then again, you've got the valve up there so you can pump that up and add pressure to it, which makes it really nice. I wanted that extra water because as you move back, you'll see that I've added the Jolka shower or ensuite to the side of the truck. Now this has been really nice because we also added the hot water heater from Jolka, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I went with the full setup. Even sprung for the floor that they make as well, and this is going to actually capture some of that water, and you can actually run a hose out away from your vehicle, or you can recycle that water. Not a big fan of showering and previously used shower water, but if you don't have access to water and you're really trying to conserve it, you can actually recycle that water by connecting a hose to the shower floor in this. You've got pockets, you've got dry zone storage for your towels. There's also a laundry bag that I lost somewhere in the truck a couple of days ago and haven't been able to find. And you can hang your spigot up top. There's also a roof if it's bad weather out that you can close this completely up, or if it's cold you can keep that steam in and keep it warm. But this has been nice. One of the things I added when I added the Jolka is I took one of my deck deco cases and I hard mounted it to the track, and I've been storing all my hoses, my water pump. You can actually drop the hose in the river if you want and pump the water straight out of the river so you don't have to use your onboard water if you can get close enough. Also, I can refill my water tank because that Boondocks Rain Cloud, I'm not drinking that water. I can literally get water from anywhere, so being able to pump water in just to shower and wash clothes, shower and wash dishes with is really nice. So this is going to store all of the components, that all the hoses and the gas line that goes with the Jolka. One of the things that you can't see that good right now is I've also put new struts on the rear. I went with the Bilstein 5160s, which have the remote reservoir. I've also ordered a custom set of leafs that are going to give me 3 inches of toe lift. Again, this is the AT4, so it had the 2-inch block in the rear, but I'm taking all that out, and the new set of leaves will give me 3 total inches, plus they're going to be heavier duty to handle the weight that I've added to the rear of the truck. So I should get that factory rake back and net about an inch all the way around when I'm done, which will just give me a little bit more ground clearance. When we were talking about having the Boondocks up there, I needed a way to mount that rain cloud. And I went with the Prinsu rack, which is designed, if you look at it online, it says it's for the Chevrolet Silverado, but pretty much the GMC and the Silverado are the exact same truck. So I ordered that from Mainline and they shipped it out to me, and I mounted it myself, which was a little sketchy because you have to drill holes in the top of your truck, but I think I did it well because we went through some rain and I have not had any leaks into the cab, so I think I did a pretty good job on that. But a couple of things that this does, it gives me a little bit of wind, what do you call that, balance, that's, you know, directing the wind a little bit more over the camper. It gave me the place to mount this giant water tank, the rain cloud, and it also, I think, just tightened this up a little bit. There was a pretty big gap here, and it just fills that gap in and makes the truck look a little cleaner, in my opinion. But you can also mount more lights and things like that if need be across the side, so that's an option as well. Again, I have the Alu cab. This is their 270 awning that goes all the way around the back. I love it. It's freestanding. I do have one of the legs down right now, but you don't need it unless you have a lot of wind, and there's only one leg, but you can purchase other legs if you need them, and you can strap this down as well. But yeah, it just folds out really quick and easy when I get to camp, and it packs away just as fast, so that's really nice. On the Project M, I went with the mounting rails, obviously, and that's how I mounted my shower, that's how I mounted the box I showed you, but also over here we've got 2 sets of 3-gallon Rotopacks. I also have another Baja, the S2 Pros, which is a floodlight, so I can light up around camp on both sides. And you got to have the access door for the fridge and getting in and out. So it's just nice to be able to reach things quickly without having to open the back of the truck. So we'll take a look now at the back of the truck. On my Project M, again, I went with those mounting rails, but in addition to that, I also got the floodlights on the back. And I went with the diamond plate build out. I've got a roof rack up top, which is where my MaxTrax are living right now. I'm going to actually update that as well, where I put those, but that's for another video. So those are hanging out on the roof rack up on the roof of the camper. I also have solar up there, about a 160 watt panel from Overland Solar on the roof. And as we take a look in here, you'll notice right away I've got the newest new deck system. And in one of the drawers, which I had this in my other walkthrough video, if you've seen that, I've set it up with a Dometic. This is their drop-in, like RV style 2-burner setup stove, and I've got the hose that I can pull out and connect to my propane tank. And this is kind of my camp kitchen, if you will. I've got all my cooking and cleaning essentials in here, so my pots, my pans, just anything I need to cook and clean is in this drawer. This is all recovery gear and tools and just miscellaneous items that I don't want floating around in the cab of the truck. So I've got ratchets, I've got a tool roll from Boxo, and then I've got some drills and stuff if I need to work on boats or just fix things that might go wrong when we're out driving, you know, and I've had to use that quite a bit. I carry this marine grade fiberglass or composite propane tank. I got it because I have a 5 horsepower outboard that is a propane outboard for my boat, and I didn't want a tank that would rust out on the water. So I picked this up from West Marine, but it's been really nice because it's super lightweight and it holds a good amount of propane, being that I'm using it to cook with. I also have a little lava box propane stove or fire pit, and I use it to heat the water now. So having a good amount of propane is important. Now we're up inside the 4-wheel camper's Project M. I'm standing on top of the deck so you can see I'm having the duck just ever so slightly, and I'm right at 6 feet tall. So if you needed more space in here, you could obviously go without the deck system and you would end up with like 6'10" of space, or you know, from the deck of the truck all the way to the top here. But I like having the storage, and I'm not usually standing up in here and just hanging out, so I have plenty of room. Like I said, my wife doesn't even have to duck, I just barely have to. I've got 2 max air fans, which is really key. I can keep air kind of flowing through with one pushing air in and one pulling air out. And I really love the fact that these have that rain sensor on them, so if at night a rainstorm pops up, I don't have to wait till I get wet to turn these off. They will automatically shut down and close themselves, which has saved me a couple of times from getting soaking wet. I did go with the insulating layer all the way around, and that's been super helpful. Since I got my camper, they've updated it to a quilted insulating layer, which I think is even better. It's going to insulate a bit better, but also just looks a lot nicer too. So eventually I may swap that out. I do have the mattress, and I just keep a big queen size sleeping bag up here on top. This bed will also pull this way and goes into a king size setup, with the extra mattress that I have at home. So you basically have 4 more pieces that you can put in there. You end up with a king size bed up top. When I'm solo, I just sleep kind of perpendicular to the truck, and I've got plenty of room to sleep up there. Again, at 6 foot tall, it's been perfect. Where all the fish at? I had the National Luna, which is a great fridge, no issues at all with that, but we are now running the Dometic CFX 5, which is a bit bigger. This is a 75, and the other one was a 60, so this is a 75. I guess it's liters. So this side you can set up as fridge or freezer, and you can do the same with the other side. I like the fact that it's 2 individual doors. That way you're not always opening the whole entire fridge when you need to get something out. And we've been eating out of this all week. It's drawn hardly any power off the battery. It lights up when you open the doors. On the side you have all your controls, and you also have a USB port if you need to charge something. But I've been able to run this off my solar and power that I have here. And speaking of power, I've got a 135 amp hour Dakota lithium battery inside this box that 4 Wheel Campers offers as an accessory or an add-on to this camper. This manages everything. I've got ports for USBs, so we've been charging up our batteries as we've been filming the show this week. You also have a 12 volt cord, but this truck was already wired for everything, so I'm pulling power for the fridge off of a Dometic adapter that gives me that plug for them, and also has another 12 volt plug on it. And I just ran the power over to the bus where all the controls and distribution for power is set up from 4 Wheel Campers. So that's been working really well. Again, I've got the solar on the roof. I've got an expandable solar panel that I can lay out and find the sun with some cords so I can charge. Plus I'm wired into the truck, so when I'm driving, this 135 amp hour battery is charging. I have never got this thing killed. The closest I've come was about a week at camping, and I got down to like 35% because we didn't have a whole lot of sun. But I've been running the fans all night and all day. Lights, fridge hasn't cut off at all. And yesterday when we parked, I was at 100%, and I'm down to 74 after about 24 hours of running off the truck without actually cranking the truck. And it's been overcast skies, so we really haven't taken any power in with the solar, just a little bit, but it's doing really great. One of the newest additions was that hot tap from Jolka to go along with that ensuite on the side, and this thing has been amazing. It's on demand, so when you hook your water into it, the minute you turn the hose on outside in the shower, the Jolka automatically will light up and heat the water instantly and just let that water flow. The minute you turn it off, everything shuts back down. So it's an automatic process. I've been keeping the temperature turned almost all the way down and the pressure turned almost all the way down because the thing it can get you nice and toasty in there if you're not careful. So we've been keeping that turned down, but it's just been so awesome to have that addition around camp. I think I'm pretty much covered most of the things that I've done here with the camper and with the truck. Be sure to drop comments or questions in, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and thanks for subscribing. Just gonna chill here, guys. Maybe get some food in my belly. Catch a little fish.